Okay guys, so welcome back to part 2. Hopefully you saw in part 1 what good and bad conversion strategies are and how something as simple as laying out and simplifying your process can be very potent when it comes to the process of working through a website. So when a user lands on it, they know exactly where they need to go. It's all logical. The story of what you've created for them leads to a logical conclusion, which is ultimately the conversion that we're looking for. So what I want to talk about in this one is fulfillment mechanics, the things that go into your website behind the scenes that really help with conversion. So somebody wants to take the next step, it's all logical, like on that Evernote website where it says start a free trial. Well, when somebody clicks start a free trial, what happens? Do they bounce out of the website? Does it go to another page that has more information? Those would be confusing things. Those would create friction in the process. Whereas if there is a simple system for sign up, like Evernote had with connect with Google or sign up via email, everything in the back end behind all that has to fulfill what that says it's going to do. Otherwise, at that next step in the sign up process, right before conversion, like the last step of conversion, ultimately, if you don't have the fulfillment mechanics set, people are going to bounce out. And then you lose the conversion, you lose the prospect, you lose the lead, and ultimately the profit for your business. So here's a 3-step process for defining and actioning fulfillment mechanics. Step 1 on the list, identify the fulfillment mechanic necessary. So for instance, if somebody sees an email opt-in on your website and they want to get into that, there has to be a sign-up process there that fulfills what you say you're going to do. So it could be like you're offering a 10%, 20% discount coupon. Well, you got to deliver that coupon somehow. Could just be that when they click subscribe or send me the coupon, that you send them to another page and there's the coupon, or it could be that it gets emailed to them. Whatever it might be, that's what you want to implement, but you've got to fulfill whatever you promise you're gonna do for that conversion. Step 2 on the list then, identify the best facilitator in the market. All I mean by that is identify the best system for delivering whatever you say you're going to deliver. For instance, if you are an e-commerce website, well, what's the best facilitator there? You could be a fulfillment by Amazon seller. You could be working through a Shopify website or WordPress website, in which case you got to make sure that all the systems behind there lead to the sale. So when somebody clicks purchase now, they can fill out their card details, they can purchase the product, you get a confirmation, they get a confirmation, and then you can either ship a product or deliver something, virtual product, if it's like online training or something like that. And then you gotta, once you define those best facilitators in the market for that specific fulfillment mechanic, then you gotta action it on your website and make sure it works, test it, refine it, see if there's tweaks that you can make that can improve the process. So what boxes should fulfillment mechanics tick? There's really 3. Integratability with current systems. So if maybe you've got a WordPress website and you want to integrate a new e-commerce area for that, well, you got to make sure that the e-commerce platform that you're using either works with WordPress or it's separate from WordPress, but that kind of is a fluid process all the same. Or maybe you've got an email marketing system. You want to make sure that the email platform will integrate with your WordPress platform or your Shopify platform or Squarespace or whatever you're using to build a website. So you've got to make sure that it actually works with whatever you have existing. You've then got to make sure that it is a fluid UX or user experience. So what I mean by fluid is simply that when people click that button, it's a seamless process. It doesn't time out. You get a little turning cog. You sit and wait for 2 minutes or bounce out. It doesn't take you to a broken page. It doesn't create extra steps in the process where there needn't be those extra steps. And then finally, deliverability of assets. So again, the instance of like an email marketing list, you're asking somebody to sign up. Maybe you're giving them something of high perceived value, for instance, a PDF download. I'll show you an example of that in a second. But you've got to make sure that the system delivers what you say you're going to deliver as fast as possible. People are so impatient these days that even the slightest delay or friction in the process due to technology not working, servers being slow, conversion just being something being broken in the process, that will frustrate them no end, to the point where they'll just bounce out and they won't come back. So deliverability of assets is key. Now again, fulfillment mechanics don't have to be fancy, but they should be frictionless. So always remember that when you go to integrate them, they've got to be seamless integration. So something as complex as an e-commerce system might have like 10 different working parts. You've got your marketing element of the website, you've got the e-commerce platform, you've got your stock control, you've got your warehouse or fulfillment station kind of set up. You've got your email marketing campaign that sends people the confirmation of the product. There's a lot of working parts that can be part of your process in online marketing. So you just got to make sure that everything is seamlessly integrated. Those are the key things to consider. Now, other factors influencing conversion. These are tips, just things that you should think about when it comes to conversion in terms of how to maximize the conversion. And some of them were present on the other websites that we looked at, like the Evernote example. So aesthetics, right? Aesthetics are your first impression. Now, a lot of people say aesthetics, nah, that's not important. It's more important to have, really good user experience and user interface and for things to be delivered. That's kind of true. All that other stuff is essential to conversion. But aesthetics are your first impression. And just like in real life, when you go up to meet somebody and for the first time, you've just got a limited amount of time to make that good first impression. So you may as well make sure it's a good one, right? So like with the example of the Evernote website, ultra minimalist website, nothing really special about it, but it was very clean, uncluttered, unconfusing, logically laid out, very, very seamless and frictionless in the process. By contrast, the digital marketing agency that I showed you had an absolute mess of a website, even though the aesthetic, white, black text, supposedly minimalist, was a bit messy, right? It wasn't logical. There was a lot of text in there that nobody can really be bothered reading. You've got all these other things in process, like illogical call to actions, people using the word yes as a call to action, creating a 12-step process for like sign up. Very, very messy. Aesthetically, it just wasn't as polished as Evernote. And I can tell you something though, with that Exodus digital marketing website, it wouldn't take too much to really polish it up, to unclutter the pages, to readjust the process. So if your website maybe looks like that or has those same issues, remember that it's very, very simple to fix those, and that's important to know. It's not going to be an absolute overhaul of everything. Could be, but it potentially isn't going to be. You just got to look at it logically. Now, aesthetics are important. Like I've said before, when somebody lands on the website, make sure it's clean, uncluttered, attractive, makes people want to stay and learn more. If your website looks like the back end of a bus, like we used to say, it's not going to attract people in. You're going to lose people before you even have a chance to get them to learn more, to be engaged by your website. And if you watch my training on the pillars of online marketing, you'll see what goes in to a website, the different factors there that come into play. Aesthetics, user experience, user interface, conversion, all those things, they all have their part to play. So make sure your aesthetics are there, they're strong, they're uncluttered and clean, and that will give you the best chance of kind of following up with all the other protocols that I teach you. Okay, number 2 on the list then, effective calls to action. So we've looked at a lot of those, again in the websites that I showed you. The thing to bear in mind with calls to action is you can have them, like I showed you, in big buttons scattered around your website. You can have them in text links throughout your website. What I would suggest is that when you go about thinking about calls to action as it pertains to conversion strategy, instead of indefinite terms like discover more or further information or yes, like we had looked at before, use more positive, proactive terms, action terms like register now, get instant access, add to cart, like Amazon use, buy now with one click, or start your free trial. Things like that are going to lead up to much higher conversion rates when you use those proactive, specific calls to action. Don't be afraid to be proactive and not pushy but assertive with your calls to action. Don't have that wishy-washy text like Oh, would you like to learn more, discover more? No, be definite about it. You know that your products and services are going to benefit this person. What is the logical next step? If you're running an online course, the logical next step is something like register now. Membership website, start your free trial, get instant access. E-commerce website, add to cart, check out now, check out with one click, all those types of things. Language is incredibly important in sales and therefore really important in conversion. And so many people in sales, like I had a psychology degree, so I've always been into psychology. But too many businesses, too many online marketing companies forget about psychology, how people respond to stimulus. So when somebody comes onto your website, it doesn't look good, I'm going to bounce out. Somebody comes on, it's all messy, creates friction psychologically for them, creates cognitive dissonance where their expectations are not met, they don't match up. The story doesn't make sense to them. The story of your brand, products and services don't make sense. All of that creates friction. That's why people leave your website. So language is incredibly important in sales and therefore conversion. And if you're stuck for inspiration, research the big sites, steal ideas. It's all out there. It's not hard to find. Go to big sites. Like I showed you Evernote. That's the biggest note-taking app on the market. Millions and millions of users. Go look at some of their ideas if that's the type of thing that you're trying to sell. If you're trying to sell maybe, I don't know, sportswear, okay? Go to Nike, Under Armour, see what they do. See what they do well. All the calls to action, the aesthetics of the website, the user experience, how they lay out their menus, how they split up their categorization for e-commerce to make sure it's easy for people to find. All those types of things. Just go out there and research big sites that do it successfully and take some of those ideas and implement them on your site. And it will work. Those sites put, hundreds of people in their online marketing teams to build these websites. They know what they're doing, so get some inspiration from them. Content marketing then and engagement. So content marketing, content improves user experience, so the experience people have on your websites. It increases time spent on a website and session duration. So the more people are on your website, the more you kind of build up kudos with Google and other search engines. They see all that happening and they say people are enjoying the content on this website and are converting. They're staying on the website for a long period. They're returning to the website. So not only do you get better conversion within the website, but you get more traffic because Google then pushes people more and more towards your website. Increases pages per visit or depth of visit. So when you've got good content in your website, people will click through into different pages. They'll read and digest the information there and spend more time. And again, that builds trust and rapport with your audience and also the important people like search engines out there or the important machines out there and bots, and it enhances authority within your industry, and that's really important as well. If people see that you're an authority, that you're knowledgeable, that you've got good products and services that other people have enjoyed, they will stay and they're more likely to buy and take that next step of conversion. And again, that increases repeat visitors. And again, all of these are factors that Google uses to rank websites, so you get more traffic as like a byproduct. Okay, engagement and user experience, how it works. So user experience or UX is the experience someone has on your website, like I've said before. Engagement relates to how engaged the visitor is with your site, with your content, and hence the importance of content marketing, creating good content, videos, audio, text, imagery. Make sure it's all good. Engagement, therefore, enhances user experience and ultimately leads to better conversion. And also remember that lead generation is the precursor to conversion. This is really important. Something that I see so many businesses fall into the trap of. They say, I've got a ton of traffic coming to my website, loads of traffic. It's just I'm paying for Facebook ads and Google ads, and I'm getting 100,000 people coming to the website. Well, the problem with that is it doesn't attend to the point of targeting. I can go onto Facebook today and launch an ad in 10 minutes and have 100,000 people to my website today if I really want to. I've got the budget and I put it in. But they're not targeted. That's the problem. You've got to create content and systems in your site that speak to your ideal avatar. So your ideal customer, who is that? Are there multiple different types of ideal avatar? In which case you need to maybe implement different landing pages and sequencing and content and imagery, different videos, sales videos, all that kind of stuff. You maybe have 5 different avatars that your product or service speaks to. The perfect example of that, this is something called perceived customization, but the perfect example of that is Apple. If you go onto the Apple website, you've got the same products sold to multiple different avatars or customers. So you've got a MacBook Air, right? The MacBook Air is the same product, but it's sold in different ways to different audiences. So if you are a student, you'll get a different sales page. If you're a business, you'll get a different sales page. If you're just the average consumer, you'll get a different sales page, and so on and so forth. So your avatar, you got to create content that speaks to your ideal audience. We've got a bit of a conflict here. Targeted ad campaigns. So like I said there a few minutes ago, with Facebook and Google, Instagram, YouTube ad campaigns, you got to make sure you're actually targeting the right people to go to the right page on your website. So say you're targeting students, you're selling a MacBook Air or something like that, even on your website. You got to make sure that the page that they go to, that they click on your ad to go to, speaks to them, that it's targeted for them. So the ad is targeted. So you got to think about the ad content as well, how to convert within the ad. Nice image that speaks to the avatar. So students, maybe students having fun or whatever. The right text, the right call to action, links across when they click to a specific page on your website that is geared for conversion for them. So you got to make sure that your traffic generation is targeted too. Do what you say you will. So deliver appropriate content. Don't just blanket a load of ads. I'm just going to send these ads out. My product's good for all the avatars, but the ad isn't going to be tailored or targeted for that person. And you got to, again, when you get people onto that landing page or your sales page or your home page, build to a specific logical conversion. Don't confuse the issue with indefinite calls to action or more steps than necessary to actually elicit the conversion. Logical conversion is really important. So guys, that's it for the 2-part training. Hope you really enjoyed it. Ask any questions. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below this video, like the video, share it out if you think it's going to help other people that you know. And ask questions. I'm here to help. If you have any questions about conversion strategy, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But it's over to you guys now. So think about your online marketing, your website or websites, your landing pages. Remember to identify your conversions first. Think about the hierarchy of conversions. You might have a homepage that has 5 different conversions. We noticed on the Evernote website, they had a couple of different conversions there. They had the business conversion. They had the conversion if you're a Google user. They had this email sign up if you're not maybe into Google, right? So they had different conversions there, and I bet down towards the end of the page they also had like offers for opting into their newsletter and things like that, and those are all different types of conversion. So you got to think about your conversions. Make sure that your conversions are congruent with your brand, your messaging, your products or services, but identify them first and then retro engineer systems to fulfill those promises for conversion. So research your fulfillment mechanics. Look at if you've got a sales page or a squeeze page, for instance, and a page that's designed to get people to sign up to your email marketing list. Research the fulfillment mechanics for that. How do you deliver the content that you're promising the person? Well, you might sign up to a platform like MailChimp or iContact or Aweber or Constant Contact, and that would fulfill that promise that you're offering the person. So they sign up for a free 20% coupon, send your email address over to MailChimp. MailChimp then recognizes that, shoots the person out an email saying, here's your coupon code for 20% off, make sure you visit this link, has it all there, big button in the email, conversion strategy in the email as well, and then it goes on to the sale. So make sure your fulfillment mechanics are seamless. And then all you got to do is execute. Get them on your website, start implementing, testing, measuring, make sure your analytics are actually showing how many people open your email campaign, how many people click on the link. If everybody's opening your email but nobody's clicking on the conversion, the link, the call to action button, well, then there's something wrong. You got to think about the language, maybe tweak the language, maybe move the call to action button up the page, maybe change the imagery in your email. But always execute, measure, refine. Refining is the key to long-term success in online marketing. So guys, hopefully that was of help. That's me done for the 2-part series. Make sure you, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure I can keep you updated with all the good stuff I've got coming in the coming days, weeks and months. And again, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. Hopefully see you in the next one.